I'm up against this Common Core thing as well in my children's school. I have 8-year-old twins. My son has a learning disability, which was diagnosed probably at the very end of second grade, which he's in third grade right now. It took a while for them to diagnose him. He just wasn't up to speed. He was not up to his grade level with reading and writing and everything. It was a long haul and a long fight, and, we finally got him tested and got him diagnosed, and, he started getting the extra help that he needed in the beginning of this school year, and, he finally got his confidence level back. He was getting the extra help that he needed, and he was just coming home beaming, and he was so happy, and he was participating in class and raising his hand, and, he's so eager to please. He's such a kind, sweet-hearted little boy. And I even got a phone call from the teacher telling me what a well-behaved, polite little boy that I have. And she told me she never does this. She never calls people's homes. But she wanted to tell me that my son is such a well-behaved little boy, and it's the ones that listen that are going to be very successful in life. And she told me my son was going to be very successful. Well, here came Common Core. My son has changed before my eyes, and I do not know what to do because I sit here and I feel so helpless. His hope is gone. His confidence level just crashed, and he just gave up. His little head cannot handle the work that they're giving him now, which you're familiar with. This is a one-size-fits-all education, but it does not fit all. And this child is living proof that this is a struggle for all children. My daughter, his twin sister, who does not have a learning disability, is failing the math. Now you take a child with a learning disability and expect a child with a learning disability to handle a math equation that takes 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to get an answer. He's lost by the second step. He's just about had it. I did refuse them the test, and I took them out during testing time, and then I would bring them back. And on the very last day of testing on Friday, I got him into the building, and he kept saying, I don't want to go, Mommy, I don't want to go. Please don't make me go. And I told him, everything will be okay, and, you're going to be fine. And I got him into the building, and he was just like rubbing his hands together and looking at me, and all this frustration was just built up inside him, and he started with one shoe, and he ripped it off, and he threw it across the lobby. And then he took the second shoe off and threw that one across the lobby. And then he threw his metal Spider-Man lunchbox across the floor. Then he ripped his sweatshirt off, and he ran. He ran for the front door. And he was pushing it open to run from a place that he used to love. And the school psychologist actually had to grab him before he made it out the front door. And she turned him around and walked him past me with no shoes on, walking him down the hall as he turned his head to look at me, and he cried hysterical and said, please, Mommy, don't make me go. And this is what Common Core has done to my son.
Wow, Jackie, when I read your letter, I cried not just once, more than once. And I cry every day. Every day, because as a mother, I don't know what to do to help him. And just like so many other parents that feel helpless out there, and the children that hold it in, my son decided to let it out. And I know there's a lot of children out there that are holding this in, and it's not healthy for them. No, and y'all have been ahead of it further than we have in Alabama, and people are asleep, and we're trying to wake them up. And I thank God that you share your story because, Jackie, it's a crime that the mainstream media is not sharing that, because if they would share the truth, people will know within a matter of minutes that this is so wrong for America.
And this is what I'm up against. I'm up against the same thing here. I'm in a community where, we pay a lot of money in taxes for the education system here, a lot of money. And, you have a group of parents here who think that they refuse to get educated on it. They think it's all about standards and hard work and that their child can handle it and it doesn't affect them, and it very much affects them. And for me to be in the middle of the lobby of the school with my son going through this, because I'm aware of the whole situation, and there's no other parent in my school that is. And so, of course, when I try and educate people, it sounds like a science fiction movie. No one's going to believe you. And now here's my son having a fit. And now, they just look at me like, here's my son, he doesn't want to do the work. He can't handle the work. And it's not the case. It's not the case. I mean, like I said, this was a little boy that's so eager to learn. And when he knew his work, when he was getting that extra help, and he would raise his hands and he would participate, and he was the proudest little boy when he came home off that bus. And I hung all his work up on the wall in the kitchen, and there's nothing hanging anymore. Nothing.
Well, it breaks our heart to hear it, and we want America to hear your story. We need for Glenn Beck to really hear your story. We need it all over. And I'm gonna ask Miss Barbara. She is also a former teacher. I know she probably has a comment or a question. Miss Barbara.
Well, this is heartbreaking. I am so sorry. It's just heartbreaking. And I'm thinking, no longer can you just go to your school, your local Board of Education, because the Common Core is top down from the federal government. And how do you appeal to the federal government for a redress of your grievances? I mean, it's like, parents don't have control over their children's education anymore, and that's one of the hardest things is that parental control.
Absolutely.
Well, Jackie, let me go and ask Miss Christina. Do you have a comment or question for her, Miss Christina?
I don't know what the feasibility is for you. I listen to you and I just cringe. I cringe at hearing stories. I just don't understand where our society is going anymore. I don't understand why people are so apathetic to what is going on with their children and their lives. Have you thought at home is there a possibility to pull them out of school and homeschool?
I am on that mission right now, as of today. This was Friday that this happened, and now, of course, he had to go back to school today. It was a terrible, terrible morning.
I can imagine.
Terrible.
I can imagine.
And I'm heartbroken, and how do you explain to your child that I have to send you there? I have to send you to do this stuff that doesn't make sense to you, that mixes your head up and confuses you. Your mommy has to do that.
You can't explain that to the child. The child doesn't have capability to understand. But I encourage everyone that's listening that I'm also a co-founder of a national coalition to fight Common Core curriculum in the United States. We have got to wake people up. Parents, wake up. This is coming. So you're going to lose control of your children. Is this what
we already are?
I know we are. When it's happening rapidly because there is so much money and power behind this movement. But you know what? I keep going back to the fact our God is greater, and we have to look to our God as our source in all things. We still have power. We are not unempowered.